and welcome to Leaders of Tomorrow Weekend Edition. You are with us on this very special series that we call Super Achievers, Making New India, powered by Voicewhat. I'm Sunanda Jayaseelan. Who are our Super Achievers tonight? Well, first up, we're turning the spotlight on Aramex. Our second Super Achiever tonight in focus is Insurance Samadhan. I caught up just a short while ago with the top management from Aramex talking all things innovation, what the way forward is looking like, and what really is mattering most to the company as we speak. Let me introduce them. Percy Avari, Regional Manager, South Asia for Aramex. Also, Samer Hajjar, Vice President, South Asia, Aramex. The logistics industry in India, which has evolved and matured in the post-pandemic era, is valued at $160 billion and employs over 22 million people directly. A pioneer in this industry, Aramex is seeking to gravitate towards AI, blockchain, and other technological solutions to solve the rising importance of last-mile deliveries for e-commerce and aims at spurring community development through youth empowerment and investments through education, civic engagement, and volunteering. Percy, good having you here. Thanks for your time. Let's talk about some of the work that you're doing as far as the domestic market is concerned. Any expansion plans you can, let us in on for 2022. And before you come to that, just to take a step back and talk to us about the journey and the history and what that growth has been like.
First of all, thank you for having me here and giving us this opportunity to share our experience in India. Aramex India journey began in 1996. In fact, Aramex India was the first multinational company to be registered in India to do transportation business. And I had the good fortune to join this company within 4 months of its being registered and starting up and begin the journey since then. So I have seen Aramex grow from a 4-office wholesaler in the Middle East when we started off to a company providing a total transportation solution covering all products from express to domestic to freight forwarding and logistics in India. And Aramex decided to focus upon its core competencies, which is international express, freight forwarding, and logistics. With this, the journey continued. During the pandemic, Aramex had a slowdown subsequent to the month of June, where things started reopening. Aramex as a company continued to focus on its express and freight forwarding, working with e-commerce and B2B customers and hand-holding them to re-emerge and work towards growing their exports and imports into India. Decided to expand on its existing warehousing capacity and expand on its logistics business, where it started setting up a new warehouse in Bhiwandi in 2021. And we plan to continue expanding our warehousing business, providing state-of-art infrastructure, automation, and warehouse management systems to customers in India.
You play a very significant role when it comes to supporting SMEs, especially in sectors like e-commerce, e-tailers, etc. What's your contribution? How do you really fit in with these e-commerce companies? You were talking about delivery, for instance, and you were talking about e-commerce very briefly. I just want to go back to that and ask you to really talk about how you fit in with these very crucial sectors.
The incredible impact on entrepreneurs, SMEs, and startups have on the communities of the economy. One of the most crucial elements for growth and expansions of these integral sectors is ensuring that they have reach and access to customers, and we are proud to be playing a major role in helping them grow and flourish. Our focus continues to remain supporting the government's vision of Made in India and make India a major exporting hub, with the focus being on SMEs and the e-commerce segment.
We started by talking about the India region, but I want to talk about the work that you do in Middle East, in Asia, in Africa, and how you're working closely with these e-commerce companies, how you're supporting them, and what's the kind of growth there you're looking at.
We recognize the critical role of small business enterprising in driving socio-economic growth. We strongly believe in the importance of empowering entrepreneurs and startups and supporting them to create their own opportunities. At Aramex, we are keen to facilitate access to various logistical services and solutions for startups and SMEs so that we can actively contribute towards their growth and development process and help them compete locally and globally. These SMEs and MSMEs, to enable them to understand the paperwork requirements in this market, to understand the demographics of these markets, and to understand how they can penetrate these markets with the support of Aramex as the logistics partner.
Samer, thank you so much for taking the time to join us here on the show, really talking about Aramex, talking about the journey that you've had and where you see yourself going in the mid to short term. So perhaps we'll start at the beginning and talk about the kind of journey that you've had with the company, becoming really the name and the brand that you are today, but also talking about perhaps the plans that you could share for us in 2022. Hopefully the worst of the pandemic is behind us. So what sort of perhaps growth are you targeting in the mid to short term?
So Aramex is the leading global provider of comprehensive logistics and transportation solutions across the region. We're based out of Dubai. And we started off back in Amman, which was our base, and we started expanding gradually. Definitely Asia is on top of our list where we've been expanding gradually. And going back to your question on the 2022 expansions, India comes on top of the list. And just a few weeks back, there was a board meeting and the approval has been given to start exploring ventures in terms of acquisitions and expansions across India. And this is something we've been doing for the last couple of years, but this time we're taking a bit more an aggressive step towards expanding within the Indian sub as well.
Could you talk to us about the impact that the pandemic has had on your business? Logistics as a whole perhaps has been called into play during the pandemic, asking to really support the movement of essential goods and services, vaccines, etc. But specifically for your business, could you talk about the impact that you've seen?
Definitely. Look, the global pandemic has tested our agility and has tested the will of our people and the strength and flexibility. Due to the various challenges that we've come across, we've had to be very agile and flexible to come up with different kinds of solutions. And we've been very innovative, coming up with different solutions to cater to the digital transformation that's I think it's shaking and moving the whole world in terms of the changes that have happened. Unfortunately, some of them had its advantages and some of them had its disadvantages. We've been trying to avoid any kind of compromise on our service levels. And we've managed to overcome a lot of these challenges and to ensure that we come up with different solutions to support our clients, basically, in terms of contactless deliveries or different solutions that have really helped us to avoid hampering our operations, supporting our customers.
Based on that experience and just based on your own journey, what advice would you have for the entrepreneurs who are watching today's interview, whether in the logistics space or in any other space, about what has perhaps worked for you and therefore, you would want to advise them?
This industry hasn't changed for quite some time. And I believe with COVID, it has pushed things to the limits. And we can see massive changes in terms of our industry. Today, you see massive changes in terms of the business landscape, in terms of AI, drones, autonomous vehicles, so much of data analytics. You would see a lot of these startups. So I would tell them, never stop learning and exploring. And definitely the potential of technology within any business now is becoming a very crucial component to making a business or breaking it.
Thank you so much for that
Thank you.
conversation, Samer, and definitely advice that our entrepreneurs watching this interview can take to heart.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
That was the team from Aramex. I'm going to slip into a short commercial break. We're going to be joined live by the team from Insurance Samadhan on the other side in just a moment. Just stay tuned. Welcome back with us here on Leaders of Tomorrow Weekend Edition. I'm in conversation with Insurance Samadhan. The entire top management of Insurance Samadhan joining us here on the show to talk about what makes the company different and unique and why that business model of theirs is so different. Let me quickly introduce them. Deepak B Uniyal, CEO, co-founder, Insurance Samadhan. Shilpa Arora, co-founder and COO. Shailesh Kumar, co-founder and insurance head. Ravi Mathur, co-founder and CTO. India's insurance sector is a colossal one, growing at a rapid rate of 15 to 20% every year. A large number of consumers fall victim to unscrupulous intermediaries who sell them insurance policies without giving them the right information. Insurance Samadhan is India's specialized insurance compliance resolution portal that aims to assist miscommunicated or mistreated policyholders and is solely dedicated to people looking for an effective solution to resolve their insurance-related concerns. Deepak, thanks for taking the time. Before we go any further, I would love for you to really talk about the model of Insurance Samadhan and what makes it so unique.
So Insurance Samadan is a technology platform which resolves insurance complaints like mis-selling or claim rejection in life, health and general insurance. And general insurance can be anything. It can be motor, fire, marine. So that's what we've been doing for last 3.5 years. We are the only tech platform in the country resolving these complaints. And in last 3.5 years, we resolved more than 14,500 such complaints.
So how do you ensure that you're meeting those needs of policyholders and people who've taken insurance policies that perhaps haven't been met?
So what happens is when there's a mis-selling or claim rejection, the aggrieved customer doesn't know where to go. They don't know how to represent their complaint. And not that insurance companies don't want to solve these complaints, they do want to, but the customer doesn't know how to represent, how to put it across in a language they can speak, they can understand. So when they reach out to us, we have a very strong filtration process. This is one of our USPs. It's tech-enabled process. So we ask few objective questions. Depending on the answers which these customers give, aggrieved customer gives, our filtration process will pick up the genuine complaints. So which means if it realizes that the complaint is genuine, has enough proofs to represent, then we pick up these complaints. And after we say yes to the customer, we understand the details and help the customer in re-representing these complaints to the insurance company.
Could you break down the services that you offer, Deepak?
So we offer two kind of services as of now. Since last 3.5 years, where we have solved 14,500 complaints, we were giving grievances as services. So grievance management was what we were doing. Either it can be mis-selling, we would help you there, or it can be a claim rejection, we would help you there as well. Now we are upgrading ourselves to a product, and we would offer more services like filing the claim. One of the very important feature which this app would have is check the health of your insurance. So which means we say that if you have already bought an insurance policy, upload that policy in the app. It will read through your policy form and it will tell you if there's any error. For example, let's say you were a smoker when you bought this policy. So this app will ask you this question. Let's say you said, yes, I was a smoker. It will go to that particular section in the form and check if it has, yes in this, in a smoking section. If it is no, then it will raise an alarm and say that, this says that you were not a smoker. And then obviously it will ask you whether you want to fix this. If you say yes, it will give you a draft which with a click of a button will go to the insurance company's customer service ID. So this is going to a very, very famous feature as per us. And then we will also help in portfolio analysis. We will tell you what kind of product you can buy. Our USP will always be that we will never sell any insurance or any financial product. So these are various kind of policy management, policy services which we will give to our customers. And so our universe would be now every single policy holder in the country.
All right, Deepak, thanks for that. Shilpa is here with us next. Shilpa, how do you really measure the success of some of the incentives that you offer? What can you tell us?
So our success of incentive will be, when our customer calls us and they tell us that they have received their money which they had lost because of mis-selling, fraud or claim rejection. So that is our, big thing.
How many insurance complaints do you receive per month?
So we receive on a month-to-month basis about 10 crores of claims which we register every month. And post Shark Tank, that is in the month of February, we could register about 25 crores of claim.
How many cases have you resolved, Shilpa? Can you give us a figure on that, a number?
So we have resolved over 14,500 cases till now, and every day we are resolving more and more cases.
Give us some flavor, Shilpa, in terms of what kind of insurance complaints do you get at the company?
So most common complaints that we are getting these days is mis-selling, which is the policies are sold in the name of loan to small businessmen. Then there are policies which are sold to people in the name of bonus in their old lapse policy. Some data is available in the market through which the customers gets calls and they are told that there is a lapse policy and there is bonus and new policies are sold. Then there is a problem of senior citizens being sold policies in the name of fixed deposit. We are also getting a lot of COVID claims being rejected, or there is a short settlement. Health claims, we get a lot of death claim, COVID death claims as well. We are getting marine insurance, fire insurance, property insurance, because a lot of properties got disrupted because of cyclones and natural calamities which happened all over India. So we are getting all sorts of claims.
All right, Shilpa, thanks for your time. Why would a hospital take your services, Shailesh? What can you tell us?
Hospital is able to get the resolution, then hospital will always be happy, because their money is getting stuck. Their customer is not satisfied because customer feels that their total money they have not been able to get. Now through Insurance Samadan, we are not only guiding and helping the customer who has suffered, we are also guiding and helping the hospitals whose large money is also stuck with insurance companies, because again they are in their day-to-day life, they are not really aware of the various terms and conditions which is available in the insurance company with the insurance contract.
Our last then expert from the company joining us and from the top management team joining us is Ravi. Ravi, just set the tone and give us a flavor of how the company has changed post the pandemic.
If you think post-pandemic has changed the demand of technology, I would differ. I think it has just accelerated the adoption of technology in startups. We at Insurance Samadhan were ready for it from day one. So we have hired most of our team in pandemic. It was something that we were doing and it helped us a great deal. We are in a very unique and niche space already. So we do not have any kind of a reference point. So whatever we were doing, we had to use technology. We had to leverage technology to gather learning, the data that we are processing, the cases that we are solving, the experiences that we are having. The system is itself in a self-learning mode.
Run us through the process, Ravi, of how someone registers their case with Insurance Samadhan.
If a customer wants to register with us, he can come to our website. If you come to our website, there is a very nominal details that you have to fill. You can have our toll-free number also, which is listed on website. You can call on our toll-free number. Our team will connect with you. If you want to do it yourself, we'll be launching our app in coming 3 to 4 weeks. We are working on it. You can download our app. We'll be launching some features on it. Once you have registered with us, then we have a filtration process. The filtration process is a due diligence process that we do on our side. Once the case passes the filtration process, whereby there are around 100 data points right now, we are increasing it to around 1000 data points. Once the case gets selected, then you have to pay a nominal registration fees if you are a direct B2C customer. So these are also the channels that people reach out to us.
So Ravi, a last question then. How is technology, helping and aiding this entire process when it comes to scaling up?
So technology we are using, what we do is we dissect every document that comes to us. There is a bucketing system that we have created. This is first of its kind bucketing system in insurance domain. Nobody has ever done it before. The system is in an auto learning mode from last 3.5 years, whereby if it registers a case that has been handled before, the system is geared up enough to handle that without any manual intervention. Our vision is to help each and every policy holder of this country and give them an app whereby every insurance problem that they have, they can reach out to Insurance Samadhan and we should be able to help them.
All right, to the entire team at Insurance Samadan, thanks for speaking with us here on The Leaders of Tomorrow. Out of time on tonight's episode, but if you have any feedback for us, here's how you let us know. Our contact details on your screens as we speak. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.